Hey everyone, welcome back to News for Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And today I'm going to be reviewing Thor Love and Thunder. I went to go see this movie last night. I'm sorry I didn't put up a review last night because I did get home about a little late last night. So I didn't really have enough time. And I really wanted to review this movie. So today I'm here to do that. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. And also, if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and of course, click on the bell notification so you don't miss anything. We post a lot of Marvel related content here on the channel. We're also approaching about 10K. So if all that Marvel content is for you, especially Spider-Man, since we are also hyping Marvel Spider-Man 2, definitely be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you don't miss anything. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get to the review. So Thor Love and Thunder stars Chris Hemsworth, of course, as Thor, Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, who returns for the very first time since we last saw her, which was in Thor: The Dark World, and the newcomer, Christian Bale, who plays Gore the God Butcher. Anyways, this movie was pretty much a fun time. I really liked the movie. I enjoyed it. I think it was a decent time. I think the rating for the very first time, in my opinion, on Rotten Tomatoes was pretty fair, although I'd probably give it just a bit of a higher score, in my opinion. So the reason why I feel the way I feel about this film is because one, there were a couple of things that I had a few problems with. I think Thor Ragnarok is the superior movie. Remember that this movie was also directed by Taika Waititi, who also directed the Thor Ragnarok film. And this movie does try to go into the comedy route a little bit more. And they try to ups the ante with the comedy. And I think, in my opinion, it didn't really land. Because based on the audience that I was watching the movie with, I only heard a couple of audible chuckles in the film. And whenever a particular character would make a joke in the movie, like I even sighed like once, but that was pretty much it. It wasn't near as bad as I thought it was going to be, because one major concern I had about the movie was the extensive amount of jokes that I was expecting in the film, and just some of the comedy and some of the jokes just didn't land. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a humorless husk of a bean, but I find myself to be an individual who appreciates comedy and humor. But some of the things just didn't land and sit right with me in this movie. And I only chuckled maybe twice in this film. And that's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, it was an entertaining time. The movie clocks in at about an hour and 59 minutes. So call it a 2-hour film. I thought the movie could have been a little bit longer to explain more things. I thought the movie was also given a pretty simplistic plot to follow along for the general audience. Because if you ever read the Mighty Thor comics, with the Gore the God Butcher storyline, which is a phenomenal storyline that you should definitely check out, it's a little bit more complex than that. It's a little longer than that. And I think this version was more of a watered down version of that story. Christian Bale, as always, in every role that he's given, he's phenomenal. It's only a shame that he wasn't given enough screen time in this film, because we actually did not see a lot of him in the movie. And that's a real shame. I mean, he had the right motivation to do what he had to do in the film, and I'm not going to spoil anything here. I'm just going to try to keep it as vague as possible. But I think Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher was one of the best villains in recent time, at least for Marvel's Phase 4. And recently, in Marvel Phase 4, we've been getting a lot of really good villains, with the exception of like the villains that we see in the TV series. But in the movies, we've been getting really decent villains, and I've been having a really good time with them. So Marvel Studios is really doing good by its audience to give us really good, phenomenal villains with great motives, and villains that we can actually truly care about and feel sorry for. Now, also, there were a couple of moments in this film that were quite sad, but really didn't really stick the landing with me. I didn't shed a single tear, which is a real shame, because normally when movies can make me at least cry a little bit, it's really delivering. It's really doing its job and making me feel sorry or feel sad for certain characters, because certain things do occur in the movie that should make its audience feel sad, but didn't. And that's a real shame as well. Overall, the movie is pretty entertaining. It didn't stick the landing a lot with the humor. It is a very fun time. It is enjoyable. A lot of things and a lot of backstories are explored with certain characters. As far as the chemistry between Chris Hemsworth's Thor and Natalie Portman's Thor / Jane Foster, it's as good as always. The only thing is that I don't feel like they've gotten enough screen time together throughout all of its movies. Because you got to remember that Natalie Portman, who plays Jane Foster, didn't appear in any other movie since Thor: The Dark World. She wasn't even in the third one because they have been broken up. But don't worry, that part is actually explained as to why they have broken up in the past, and then it pretty much does a catch up with its audience just to let you know why they broke up. Again, I don't think it was really executed well enough to the point that we as an audience didn't really care about the relationship, because if you really think about it, the relationship between Thor and Jane Foster wasn't all that great to begin with anyways. I don't think we've gotten enough screen time, and I don't think we've explored their relationship enough throughout the course of those 3 films, from like the first 2 Thor movies to now, Thor: Love and Thunder. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. In terms of like the movie quality and its special effects, the special effects and the visuals are just stunning, and it's some of the best visuals I've ever seen in a Marvel Studios movie. So you're definitely going to have a really good time with the action and the visuals and special effects in this movie if you go see this movie. I think the movie overall is pretty much fine. It's a great movie. It's really enjoyable. It does have its flaws. It's not perfect. And overall, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I think the rating on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty fair. Although it could be a little high. Last I checked, it was at 68%. If I had to give it a fair rating on the Rotten Tomatoes score, it'd be 75%. But anyways, 7.5 out of 10. That's my rating for Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor Ragnarok is the superior movie in terms of action and comedy, but Thor: Love and Thunder, you're definitely going to have a good time with this one, especially with some of the performances in this film. That's my review for Thor: Love and Thunder, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you all don't miss anything. And if you saw Thor: Love and Thunder, definitely comment down below. And if you liked it or not, do not spoil the movie if you've seen it already, so you guys can give a chance to everybody else in the comment section to go see the film. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much once again, and I'll see you all in the next comic panel.